And we begin tonight with a weather impact alert. You can see the impact in the northern part of our state from these pictures posted by Indiana State Police. A crash this afternoon involving about 30 vehicles along the Indiana Toll Road near Elkhart. Police do not believe any of those injuries are life-threatening. Thanks for inviting us in. It's 11 o'clock, and here in central Indiana, we've got temperatures falling. May see some slick spots tomorrow morning.
Yes, not everybody, but if you're north and east of Indianapolis, you're getting some of those lake effect snow bands that at times can reduce visibility to near zero and cause the accidents that we saw up along the toll road earlier today. I do want to take you up along Interstate 69. This is near Marion, and you can see the snow covering the grassy areas. Looks like some of the big trucks have their hazard lights on, so perhaps roads starting to get a little slick in this area. And you can see this is the area that we're monitoring for that heavy lake effect snow from Marion south to Alexandria through Gas City and Fairmount, all the way south into Middletown and Newcastle. This is the area that we expect accumulating snow, perhaps as much as 2-3 inches of snow. Those high totals will be up closer to Lake Michigan, but we do anticipate lake effect snow slowing us down areas north and east of Indianapolis through tomorrow morning.
Angela, thanks. Now I want to get you to some breaking news on the south side of Indianapolis. Police right now are investigating a deadly shooting at a home along Shelby Street. All of this unfolding around 8:30 tonight, just south of Thompson Road. And in the last hour, police have now confirmed officers found a woman who died from her injuries. Now, initially, they found a man who thought he had been shot, but it turns out the bullet pierced his clothing. Another man inside the house was not injured. Investigators tell us they took a suspect into custody. We're told the shooting began as an argument among family members. And we're also following breaking news tonight out of Minneapolis. Look at this. According to the Department of Homeland Security, a federal officer shot a person in the leg. These are live aerial shots of the scene from our sister station in Minneapolis. DHS officials say all of this started as a targeted traffic stop involving a person from Venezuela who was in the United States illegally. They say the person drove away and crashed into a parked car before running away. A statement from DHS says when officers caught up to the man, 2 other people arrived from a nearby apartment and then started attacking the officer with a snow shovel and a broom handle. The statement says the officer took defensive shots. Our sister station, CARE TV, reports at least 100 people are on the scene right now. This is where authorities are now using pepper spray, flashbangs as protesters throw things at ICE agents. Now, we're going to monitor this situation in Minneapolis all evening. We'll bring you updates just as soon as we get them, both online and on Sunrise beginning at 4 a.m. Indiana Governor Mike Braun gave his second State of the State address tonight before a joint session of the Indiana General Assembly. The governor telling Hoosiers our state of the state is strong. Our State House reporter Emily Longnecker was there tonight for the speech.
Yeah, just before tonight's speech, Governor Braun released his 2026 agenda, and much of his State of the State speech echoed that, with the governor saying that affordability would be his highest priority. In his second State of the State address, Governor Braun framed Indiana as a state that's strong and growing.
We're growing double the rate of Illinois, double the rate of Ohio, triple Kentucky's rate, and 6 times the rate of Michigan's. That's something.
The governor touted rising wages and growth he said was outpacing the national average. When it comes to the cost of living, Braun said he's focused on making life more affordable for Hoosiers in areas like housing, energy, and health care, announcing his support for several Republican-led bills to address those costs, including one on housing.
Home prices have surged because we aren't building enough, and unnecessary regulations are driving up costs. Representative Doug Miller has a bill that will get government out of the way, make it easier for Hoosiers chasing the American dream to buy their own home. I support it 100%.
If there were still any hard feelings left over from last month's redistricting defeat, with the governor threatening to primary lawmakers who voted against it, Republican leadership in the House and Senate didn't show it.
With regard to that, look, there's lots of hard things that happen in this place, and we are going to continue to come to work and do good work for Hoosiers.
Democrats said the governor's focus on affordability was long overdue.
Thank you for finally acknowledging it. Better late than never. Because Hoosiers have been saying this for a long time.
Democrats also criticized cuts to child care funding and reimbursement rates that left some child care centers closing and families on wait lists for help.
Saying affordability matters is easy. Governing like it matters, and it's the test.
And Governor Braun also thanked the Indiana State Police tonight in his speech, talking about the work that they have done to get drugs off the streets, crediting that work for lowering Indiana's number of overdose deaths. That drew a standing ovation in the chamber. Another moment of bipartisan agreement that brought everyone to their feet tonight was when the governor told everyone to wear their crimson and cream on Monday to cheer IU in the national championship. At the Indiana State House, Emily Longnecker, 13 News.
A former IMPD officer was just found not guilty of several criminal charges. Myron Howard faced counts of official misconduct, making an unlawful proposition, public indecency, and public nudity. This is video from an earlier court appearance. The charges stem from a case back in 2023. Howard was accused of having sex with a woman in the back of his police car in exchange for giving her a ride home. Howard was previously found not guilty of charges, including rape, in a separate case last year. Well, the number of data centers in Indiana is steadily rising, and those developments often trigger pushback from communities. Our Alex Almanza is at a meeting in Pike Township tonight where some state lawmakers are now taking an interest in a debate only getting louder.
It's not just state lawmakers, city county councilors also joining in on the conversation here at the Pike Township Residents Association, questioning the petitioner on this new data center development. In a city where nearly 40 data centers are either up and running or in the pipeline, Wednesday's conversation in Pike Township focused on just 7 acres of land. American Tower Company laying out plans for a 20,000 square foot data center near 79th and Township Line Road, promising a small footprint and saying this facility would not use city water for cooling, relying instead on a closed-loop system. The company also saying the site would create minimal traffic and that backup diesel generators would only run during testing or emergencies.
I actually live less than a half mile from where the data center is. I just can't even imagine just buying a house and then all of a sudden this is going to be there.
Resident Alex Bond says neighbors learned about the project from each other, not from the company.
So it's really important that we set a precedent that this isn't going to happen anywhere.
State Senator Greg Taylor came to the meeting expecting to hear about a much larger operation. He left saying this proposal is different than what he expected.
This is totally different than what I thought I was coming into. The investment is significantly less. The water issue that they explained, as they explained it here today, was one in which it's going to be a closed loop, so they won't use any extra water. It says it's like building a house. I don't know what to say.
Still, Taylor says the company has work to do to earn the community's trust.
It's really up to the city council to make their mind up on what they want to do. For me as a state legislator, my responsibility is to make sure that all of my constituents have all the information they need to make a value and educated decision.
Residents also raised questions about noise, those diesel generators, and tax incentives, with American Tower saying it does not plan to seek tax abatements for this project. The company declined to comment to 13 News immediately following the meeting. This matter now heads to the hearing examiner in February, where this matter will get a favorable or unfavorable recommendation. In Indianapolis, Alex Almanza, 13 News.
All right, Alex, thanks. Clergy members are now pushing back against the data center project in the Martindale-Brightwood neighborhood. They gathered for a protest today ahead of a public hearing tomorrow. Leaders from the Black Church Coalition and the Martindale-Brightwood People Action Coalition say this development is bad for the community. The company Metro Blocks is behind the development. It calls for a facility near 25th and Sherman, but some neighbors want to stop that plan from going any further.
We are not opposed to development. We are opposed to development that once again asks this community to absorb unequal risk while receiving little to no meaningful benefit in return.
Clergy members went on to tell us they've done a lot of canvassing, phone banking, and community meetings to figure out where neighbors stand tonight on the data center. City leaders will get to figure that out tomorrow afternoon during a public hearing over at the City County building in downtown Indy. That starts at 1. Residents plan to be there to protest and comment.